Okay, we gotta talk about Kris Tyson. Oh my god. So it all starts with this video titled, "This video will make you hate Kris Tyson." And not gonna lie, it was pretty successful in making me hate Kris Tyson. Basically, it's exposed Kris for being an absolute A-grade, gold star, certified degenerate freak. I gotta say, this is one of the worst things I've seen in a while. Basically, Kris is really into lollipops without the pops, if you know what I mean. And essentially, lollipops, as I'll be calling it in this video, are drawings of minors, but, you know, animated. So it's one of those situations where, you know, guys, she actually only looks 8 years old, and, you know, I like jacking it to this 8-year-old character, and I have her framed in my living room, but actually, she's just a 50,000-year-old vampire, so it's completely okay. Now, it turns out Kris was also good friends with someone who draws real children as those characters and actually bought art from them as well. So that's when your behavior is just borderline PDF file, and then there's very, very, very little difference. So it all starts with this guy named Shadman, who is the lollipop art creator.
However, there's a very sketchy personality involved in this story, also known as Shadman. Shadman was a normal guy until he decided to attend an art university in Switzerland to pursue his passion for art. However, shortly after, he was expelled when some of his artwork was discovered to be illegal, even considered a danger to society.
Okay, so essentially this Shadman guy is an actual freak. He draws not only animated 8-year-olds, but also real people. In fact, this guy drew his own mother in a prawn scenario, which is absolutely wild. All right, that is, I don't know what levels of messed up that actually is, but if that wasn't bad enough, this guy took Keemstar's actual real daughter, who was a minor, and drew her in also prawn scenarios as well, which is just, I don't know, man, disgusting, depraved. There is no justification for that as well. And despite this fact, and despite knowing all this, we have good old friend Kris Tyson here, who just doesn't seem to mind at all. In fact, Kris seems to love this type of stuff, showing support multiple times to Shadman through several tweets, even like pulling them up on stream once accidentally, and even commissioning this type of disgusting art and hanging it in their living room that they were sharing with Mr. Beast.
Someone will tweet on November 8th, 2016, asking Shadman to draw Keemstar's daughter, who was 7 years old at the time, doing inappropriate things with Donald Trump. Shadman will respond by saying that if Trump wins the election, he will deliver it. And as we know, Trump wins, and as promised, Shadman will post drawings.
Okay, so this is literally all that I'm going to show because I don't really feel comfortable showing more than that. But yeah, I mean, this is a real person, not a 1,000-year-old witch or whatever defense people have for this. This is actually like Keemstar's daughter drawn in this manner, which is beyond messed up, right? But of course, this is still Shadman, right? How is Kris Tyson related to this? Well, we'll get into that.
How are Ava and Shadman linked? Well, the answer to this is another drawing by Shadman. It depicts a young girl wearing a "Please be patient, I have autism" cap, pointing a gun at her mouth. She has a fidget spinner as an earring and a spade tattoo on her thigh that says BBC, which we all know what it means. On November 18th, 2017, Ava responded to a tweet from Grande and Mr. Beast stating, "This is coming from a guy who owns a Shad-based drawing and has it as a centerpiece in his living room." Just some time later, they also posted the exact same drawing laid on the floor with the caption, "Bonus fidget spinners to throw some extra autism." Initially, it seems Kris was being sarcastic because this tweet came after Shadman had drawn all those disgusting images. However, something messy was going on behind the scenes. In this Mr. Beast video, you'll notice a very familiar thing at the 9 minutes and 30-second timestamp. From what I believe, keeping illegal art in the bedroom isn't normal at all. The shocking thing is that Mr. Beast and Kris were roommates during that time.
Yeah, nah, Kris is absolutely cooked. You not only bought the art, but had it on display in your living room for everybody to see. Any guests that come in, oh, your mom comes to visit? Well, look at my lovely art over there. I mean, how much of a degenerate can you actually be? I can't believe it took over like 6 years for this to actually come out and become public information, because I'm also wondering if they do all of this stuff in public, right? You know, tweeting like that, showcasing your support for such a horrible person like Shadman, monetarily supporting him too, displaying his stuff in your living room, then what are they doing in private, right? I mean, it's just got to be 10 times worse, right? And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Sunny V2 actually had the last laugh. Now, of course, in his viral video, he didn't really talk about this situation. He just talked about Kris being trans. But he did predict that Kris Tyson would eventually become a problem for Mr. Beast. And that was right. Maybe not in the right way, but, you know. Now, I'm not going to talk about the trans thing or whatever. I just judge people on their character and their actions. So when I see that this person is a massive creep, I automatically feel the need to call them out, right? It wouldn't matter if Kris was straight or gay or whatever the hell, right? If you're into kids and doing stuff like this, you need to be called out. You need to be locked up for a long, long time and pretty much ran off the internet, because if you're in Mr. Beast videos, literally the most popular man on the planet, and you're, influencing like half the world's kids, I'm sorry, you just don't deserve to be there in that spot. There are plenty of other people who will gladly take your place, and the only reason you're there is because you were Mr. Beast's childhood friend. The fact of the matter is, with all of this information, you are not a good influence on kids. And honestly, a while back, right, a picture was going viral on Twitter where Kris dressed up their kid, Tucker, in heels, right? And there was this big debate, like a culture war, where people are saying, oh, you're making them trans as well. Oh, you're making them gay. And some people said that, no, they're just having fun. It's not that deep. They're just, you know, playing dress up or whatever the heck. But seeing this history of Kris and their obsession with lollipops and having it framed on the walls, I mean, Kris needs to be investigated and definitely needs to respond ASAP. Now, the video continues with Kris just constantly responding to Shadman and asking for more and more of this underage art. And at a certain point, I mean, you're just sick in the head. If it was a one-off joke, one time, I get it. You know, being edgy, whatever. Everybody was edgy at one point. But you clearly love this stuff. You have it framed on your wall.
On April 16th, 2018, Ava replied under a deleted Shadman post saying, "No Beast Boy trap, Shad? You've changed." Basically, Ava was asking Shadman to draw art of Beast Boy, as Beast Boy was shown at different ages in the show. We can't say anything for certain, but that doesn't mean the tweet wasn't strange, though we definitely can't say the same about the next tweet. On January 17th, 2018, a person tweeted saying, "Remember this growing up? Me too. Check it out at Shadbase," featuring a photo of the 4-year-old cartoon character Caillou with his mother. Kris joined in and replied, "Help, I need an adult." I don't think there's any need to explain how crazy this stuff is, but what's even crazier is Ava's next tweet. Maybelle and Dipper are 12-year-old siblings from a show called Gravity Falls. On July 14th, 2017, a user tweeted comics of these characters kissing. Ava replied, "They're twins, so at this point, it's just right?"
Yeah, there is just no defending this. I don't see how any Kris supporters are ever gonna justify this peak degeneracy. You're asking for Beast Boy art here, who's actually one of my favorite Teen Titans characters, man. Ruined that as well, huh? The internet one by one, taking everything I love and just driving a knife into it. Caillou is crazy, by the way. That is, why would you ever want to see that? Nah. And Mabel and Dipper from Gravity Falls, actually, a bunch of people told me to watch that show. I watched a couple episodes, but yeah, that's not something you want to see sexualized. That is so weird. And I actually know what the Kris defenders are going to say. It's going to be either one, that it's just edgy jokes, right? Kris didn't mean it. They were a different person. I mean, really? The same joke 500 times. And the joke is that they purchased illegal art and framed it on their wall. That's like saying I committed mass murder as a joke. Like, how is it a joke if you're actually doing it and actually believe that stuff, right? And the second defense is obviously going to be, you're transphobic, of course. Anybody criticizing anything regarding LGBT person, oh, you're just phobic, homophobic, transphobic, which I know is completely just brain dead, but this is how some people think that these people are beyond criticism or something. But I'm saying it right now, if Kris was perfectly straight and not trans, they would be called out just the same. Just like plenty of straight people who have been called out, like EDP445 or Cody Co or Dr. Disrespect, right? These are all people who are, been involved in these PDF allegations, right? And it turns out the internet does not discriminate against creeps, right? We just, it doesn't matter what type of PDF file you are. We all agree that they are just the worst types of people. So that defense is never going to work. Now, after this, Kris talks about Violet from The Incredibles, just adding to that roster of, hey, I gotta be as creepy as possible. And then accidentally pulls up Shadman's website on stream, which is wow.
On June 21st, 2018, a user posted some scenes of a 14-year-old character named Violet from the movie Incredibles. Ava replied saying, "Low-key, she's cute." The fact that Violet was 14 and Ava was a grown adult makes this even worse.
Okay, so just that tweet in itself, obviously that can be interpreted as an edgy joke. I'm sure somebody's made some edgy joke in the past, not me, but some other people have made jokes like that where the internet has forgiven them. But with all this other context and supporting this type of person for so long and monetarily supporting them as well, the context becomes vastly different, and then this becomes a degenerate thing.
The surprising part is that Ava wasn't just reacting to Shadman's work. They were friends or knew each other, to say the least. On April 16th, 2019, Ava will post a clip from their livestream where they accidentally visited Shadman's website. What's even weirder is that they gave him a shout out stating, "Shout out to Shadbase for having safe for work drawings today."
And you can see the dates are getting closer and closer to today. We have 2019, which is 5 years ago, still a long time before, but in situations like this, the time doesn't really matter because once a creep, always a creep type of situation, right? You just can't tell me that Kris is innocent in this and didn't know what Shadman's done, because obviously they have a degenerate past. And, some people are saying that, oh, okay, Kris has completely reinvented themselves and they are a new person because they're trans, which is does it really change you from a PDF type of person to a non-PDF? I'm sorry, then every criminal is becoming trans, all right? That's not how it works at all. And if you were doing PDF type things 10 years ago, 15 years ago, I don't care. You still need to pay for it. This is not a situation where somebody's getting, canceled because, you were cringy 6 years ago. You were saying slurs 6 years ago back when it was okay or whatever. There are certain situations in which it doesn't really matter the time gap, considering you were still doing degenerate things as an adult, as a fully functioning adult, right? I really hope Jimmy sees this because I know you were defending your friend in the past and on Twitter and stuff, and I understand your childhood friends. And, if your friend is weird as heck like this, it's time to open your eyes. You could pull up my 5, 10 best friends, whatever, from my entire life. And if you told me they did the same things that Kris did, I would disown them immediately. I'd never talk to them again. All right.
On January 25th, 2019, Shadman posted a picture of a character called Raftalia from The Rising of the Shield Hero. There are 2 versions of her in the show. In one, she is 17, and in the other, she's 10. Shadman posted a 10-year-old version stating, "What is this, and why do people keep sending me this?" Ava replied underneath saying, "Please, Shad, please." I believe everyone understands what this means. One of the tweets, which wasn't clear or was out of context, said, "Nothing gets my knob cranking like some."
Okay, so I actually have seen this tweet before, and honestly, when I saw it, I thought, okay, this is a tweet from the past. Kris was being extremely edgy. They don't mean what they say here. Obviously, it's a very dark joke or whatever the heck, But at the time, I thought Kris was just being edgy because they were making, attack helicopter jokes and stuff like that, so that would fall in line. But with all this other context, you were just being truthful. This was an admission. This wasn't even a joke. This was just you confessing your feelings to the world here. Now, there's another screenshot, which is way worse, possibly out of context. I don't have the full context here, but this is what people are saying. That bee look good for a 4-year-old. What did they mean by that? What did Kris actually mean by that? Listen, this may be fake. All right, I can't verify this particular screenshot. But, considering everything else, it is very plausible that Ava Kris Tyson over here tweeted this because it would fall in line, honestly. And I'm very curious to see what this deleted tweet was because that changes everything, of course. If it was another one of these pictures or a real human represented, like, nah. Anyways, after this situation, I went to Kris Tyson's YouTube and Twitter just to see what people are saying. And, you know, on the Twitter, all the tweets are deleted. So it seems like somebody's trying to erase their tracks, you know? But then I went on their YouTube, and my god, it is flooded. Here's Kris Tyson's latest video, and 50k views, 300 likes, which obviously does not match up. You didn't appear in the video because there was no children there. Diddy party enthusiast. Dr. Kris Respect. Bro thinks we don't know. Challenge, stay away from kids, difficulty impossible. I don't know what is going on in 2024. Every week we got another PDF. Worst era to be underage. Actually, you still keep that art piece on your wall, buddy. I hope not. I hope not. But anyways, that's basically it. In my opinion, Kris is shady AF, okay? Let me know what you guys thought about this. We'll be reading the comment section, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.